podcast contains adult themes and language. The views expressed here are our own opinions and experiences. We are not medical professionals.
In this podcast, we discuss our opinions about mental health, sobriety, addiction, and our pursuit of happiness and peace. This is Sober Mind.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is John,
I'm Judy.
and this is Sober Mind. Hey, are you a sensitive person?
Yes, very.
Why? Chill out, bro.
Yeah,
Just relax.
you're too sensitive.
Quit worrying about everything all the time.
Yeah, why do you have to have so much alone time?
Yeah. Quit being such a bee. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about this morning. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle, so good to see you. Lisa, thank you. Lee is not on. I was a little, my heart skipped a beat when she's like, I can't be here. I like it when our biggest fans are here. Okay, so this morning's topic is going to be all about
Highly sensitive people.
HSPs. I'm a highly sensitive person.
I'm definitely a highly sensitive person,
I know some people that are not highly sensitive persons.
which is totally fine.
Yeah. But we're going to get into what all of that means. But let's start off with gratitude. Do you want me to go first? You got yours all queued up. You ready?
Yeah, go.
Okay. I have gratitude for finally being able to have conscious progression with my brain.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I've been working so long on myself and trying to figure out how I can do stuff to make myself better and be happy. And I have finally found a way to do that. So I have a lot of gratitude for that.
And I'm sure most of the time when we were drinking, you were using external stuff to get that happiness.
Yeah. So I've had I'm just going to continue on. Do you want to do yours? And then, okay, then I'm going to talk about more of our week.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I am grateful to all of the listeners, all of the people who tune in and listen to the channel, all the people who comment and tune in to the shorts that John does. I am just grateful for the community that we have and we keep building every day. I think they're fantastic people. Even the trolls out there, I love them because they're nuts. But yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all you people. Hi, Marcus.
Oh, Kat. Good morning, my heart it just ignited a little ember when Marcus joins. So yeah, I did not realize that I would have such just a fun time every night or every morning reading the hundreds of comments. And okay, this is going to sound grandiose and maybe egomaniacal. I do not mean it to be, I promise. But I can't believe that we have a forum to where we've been able to create such a community to where people are checking in with each other and saying, hey, I'm X day or months sober.
Yeah.
And hey, how did you do it? Or here's what I did. Here's a tip and trick on.
And these are people all over the globe.
Yeah, all over the globe. We got a bunch of people that check in from Australia, Canada, the Netherlands, UK, a bunch of people from the UK. Excuse me. So it's really neat to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's neat to see that, they're, like you said, they're able to check in with each other.
Yeah.
Through our community. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. So I don't know. It really warms my heart, and it gives me, I didn't realize it'd be such a beneficial additional layer towards my own growth. And
yes, definitely.
That we're able to have communications. God, technology is amazing. Communicate daily, instantly with anyone on the planet.
Yeah. And to be joyful for their growth.
Yeah. Yeah. We get a lot of stories about people, like last night, the guy said, I'm so glad I found this topic. It was very apropos. I'm finally giving up heroin after 30 years.
Heroin. Oh.
Yeah.
That's a biggie.
So anyway, that again, I'm excited for what this has become. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Grateful for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What else do you have, babe?
I'm just grateful to be sober for another day.
Yeah, me too. All right. I'm going to jump into my week, and I think you'll be able to. Before we get into our main topic, I want to talk about how our week has gone and what's going on with that. So I'll start. I may in my life have overused this word, okay? But I'm using it today, and I really mean what the word means. The last 7 or 8 days have been pretty profound for me. That's the word, is profound. So to sort of pile on to what we talked about in the beginning about being able to grow and have that capability to have the actual tools to sort of break out of this funk that I've been in for 2.5 years. Judy and I, we talked about it last week, but we've been listening to on Audible, a book called, let me pull it up so everyone can see. Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender by David R. Hawkins. Babe.
It's been really, really profound.
Yeah. This has been...
For me, it's been a daily, almost a minute sometimes, minute by minute of going through emotions and thoughts and other personal traits that I've had that I just need to let them go.
Yeah. So, with all the self-help stuff that I've tried over the last few years, I've never really gotten deep into stuff because I've always just been in my own head. And this book came along at, I think, such a perfect time too, where I was able to accept this new. I don't want to say challenge, but new.
I don't think we were at the level at the time to actually grow from this book, to learn from it and absorb it.
Yeah. So I started reading it or listening to it, and I about a day into it, I told Judy, I said, you may want to check this out. This is really good. Because
Best advice ever.
yeah. So it's a great book. I'll get into maybe a little bit of it, but I didn't know this is what I really needed to do to sort of unpack a lot of the shit that's been just putting the pressure on me.
Yeah.
It feels so good. I've been able to just release a bunch of energy and pent up shit that I've been holding that's really been the foundation of my identity for all of these years.
That's because we've associated with it.
Yeah.
I've associated myself with the past identity that I had, not with what I am and who I am now.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, that's a whole topic for another show. So, I just wanted to
We
say
could do a whole show on this book.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea, actually, to do a whole show on this book.
Yeah, we could do chapter by chapter.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Pretty much.
If you're into reading, Lisa, I know you're heavily into these self-help books. I'd highly recommend it. It is, man, there's times where I just have chills listening to it. And there's no work that's needed for it too. It's just listen or read, and
Some of it is common sense.
yeah.
Some of it hits the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, okay.
It's
That's why this is going on. So I just need to let this go. I don't need this. This is not valuable to my life anymore.
yeah. And yeah, you said it. So it's a lot of common sense. Like I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, well, no shit.
Duh.
Why have I not been doing that?
Yeah.
And
Deep down, we knew that's what we should be doing, but for some reason, we just.
yeah. So in a nutshell, like the big takeaway that I'm getting from this is I'm learning how to respond to situations with love instead of anger, which has been my, okay, doesn't mean like people, like you say, good morning, John, how are you? It's like, I'm fucking good. That's not what I mean, but it's still
Fine.
like in my daily like makeup, my fabric has always been to address situations with a hostile permeation. It's always been, what is this about, and why is this attacking me?
Yeah.
No matter what it is. I hope that makes sense.
Kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is I'm learning to look at situations without pride.
Yeah.
I caught myself this morning. Dad had a computer issue. It turned out to where his batteries and his keyboard were dead. And I okay, look, reading a book isn't going to make you perfect in one day, by the way, heads up. But
50 years of shit
Yeah.
is not going to go away in one day.
But I'm really seeing a lot of they're not character flaws either. I'm seeing a lot of the things that have been happiness interrupters for me. And those reactions still, I've always said it, we react with old emotion, and I still catch myself. Anyway, Dad had a computer issue. Turned out his keyboard batteries were dead. And I was like, Dad, when's the last time you changed the batteries? He's like, I didn't know they had batteries. My immediate reaction was, how do you think it works? Like pixie dust? And as soon as I said that, I felt it came out very crass. And even though I didn't mean
Very
it to be
condescending and demeaning.
yeah. And so I'm catching myself. That's just a small example, but even with my own thoughts. So
Yeah, that's the big thing for me too, is my thoughts are not the thoughts that I would like them to be. They are not the generous, courteous, compassionate thoughts that I, as a human, would like to think. Some of them are very rude and judgmental, and I don't like that.
Yeah. So what I'm getting from the book before we wrap that up is that when we have these reactions and it's the no shit of this. It's like when you react that way, when you're prideful, when you're angry, when you're having these negative judgmental thoughts about other people, that's who you are becoming.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
And physically it manifests itself in the body.
Yes.
So
Dad, I know you're watching. I already apologized, but I'm sorry. I really am. So I'm still a dick sometimes. I'm working on it.
You're doing good, honey. But it's interesting how they get into the kinesiology aspect in this book, is that when you think, when you speak, and you think and speak in judgmental or hurtful or prideful or egotistical ways, it manifests physically in your body to where your muscle strength goes down 20% or more. So I mean, these thoughts and these words are detrimental to the physical body, not just the emotional and the mental and the spiritual. It is detrimental to the physical body as well, which just I kind of knew, because I've, being a massage therapist and being involved in the musculoskeletal system and energy work that I used to do, and I kind of knew that, but it didn't really dawn on me that how much it actually physically manifests.
Yeah. Again, we've said this before, but our ego and pride really gets in the way of letting us know how weak and feeble our tiny little fucking lizard brain really is. And we think we have it all together, but we don't know. Okay. Sorry, y'all, didn't mean to get so deep into that book. Just wanted to make the recommend. That's been my profoundness. So it's, again, I woke up this morning just in a different train of thought, and that's where I need to be. Yesterday, I went for a 5-mile run, and around mile 3, I just broke down crying. It felt really good.
Yeah.
I was listening to a song from Alien Ant Farm, their new album, and it was the chorus is, "The fighting's over, stomp out the gray and kill the lightning." So I just kept hearing that, and I was like, yeah, the fighting, it feels like the fighting for me is finally coming into an end.
Good.
Feels really nice. I have a completely different outlook on like how my work week is going to start. I hope everyone's not thinking like, what is this fucking snake? What is this snake oil doctor selling down here? I'm not. We have shared our emotional and spiritual stiflement and growth, and we're very honest about what we're going through. So if listening to a couple pages of a book can help you out, then shit, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah. If changing your aspect and your perspective on how you view the world and yourself and so on, if that helps you physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually, then why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to be a more happy, joyful person?
Some people don't want to be that. This show's not for you. Okay, the other thing I did was you've gone a couple times to an AA meeting.
Yeah, I went last Tuesday.
Yep. And so with my newfound spiritual awakening, I just felt a desire to go to a meeting on Thursday, and I'm going back next Thursday. It was, I didn't realize, okay, real quick backstory for all of y'all that don't know, is that 10 months into our sobriety, Judy and I white knuckled it and went down that path, and that's fine. 10 months after that, we went to an AA meeting with Michelle and her husband Guy in Michigan. Yeah. And it was refreshing. It was nice. We came back here and we went to a couple AA meetings, and it just wasn't for us at the time, because
Yeah.
that's all.
We just weren't in that headspace. Yeah.
I even said that during the sharing in the group, because someone was curious. Like they thought everyone wanted to know, like, wait, why are you back? Because that's the first thing. People think you broke your sobriety when you come back to AA.
Yeah.
If you're not,
No, I didn't fall off the wagon.
yeah. If you're not, if you're in AA, you should be constantly going back to this. It's kind of part of your healing. But whatever works for you.
Yes.
So I shared that. I said, we were here a year and a half ago. I recognized some of the people. Some of them recognized me. It was nice. Michelle, I thought about you. Hey, Joe, welcome to the show. And that was the first thing I said was, I was here a year and a half or so ago, and my wife and I just wasn't in the right headspace.
Yeah.
So I'm back, and this feels really nice.
And they're very gracious people.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Any NA or Al-Anon or AA meeting, that's the
Very gracious people.
and then that's what felt really nice about being there again, is just I'm at a stage now to where it feels like it felt good listening to other people again. And that's what when you and I started this channel, that's what we wanted to put out there, was we could talk about our stuff so other people could listen. Just listening,
Yeah.
I found, helps. And so I know there's a lot of folks out there that like to listen, see what other people are going through, realize that surprise everybody, we're all fucked up.
We all got baggage.
Yep. Nobody's better than anybody else.
Nope.
A lot of people are better at pretending they're better than everybody else, but they're not.
Yes. The fake facade.
Yep. Okay, so you want to cue it up, babe, what we're going to be talking about today?
Well, I haven't seen this video, so this is going to be new to me. But our topic today is highly sensitive people. And being a highly sensitive person, the term was actually coined by Dr. Elaine Aron. She was the one who wrote a book about highly sensitive people and described what a highly sensitive person is. There's a test in there that you can take to see if you're a highly sensitive person. I know some of them just because I personally go through them. They're more empathic. They're more sensitive. Obviously, they can, when they walk into a room, they can pick up on emotional nuances more than other people do. They tend to only have for time limits on their social activity, and then they need to be by themselves.
Yes.
They're just more sensitive to us are just more sensitive to their environment, to emotions, to chaos, to pretty much everything that goes on.
Yep.
They're no different than anybody else. They just have this genetic predisposition to be more sensitive than other people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that empathy in the beginning made me a bad infantryman.
I can imagine.
They're like, John, Private Lund, we're going to teach you how to kill people. I'm like, this doesn't feel good.
I don't want this.
This doesn't feel good in my heart.
Yeah. So an example, well, I've got numerous examples, but one of my examples was I was at a very highly sensitive, wide open time, and I walked into Home Depot, and I had to turn around and walk out because there was too much chaos going on. It was Christmas. It was like 2 or 3 days before Christmas, so it was packed, and I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I had to walk out.
Yep. When Judy and I were drinking, we would go, especially around the holidays. Oh, no. Anytime we would go to Costco to do our shopping, we'd fucking panic mode through the store, get our shit, and then immediately go over to Red Robin and start pounding beer.
Yes.
That was our ritual.
Yes. That was how we dealt with the overload of sensory input that we were getting.
Yeah.
Because it's very sensory oriented.
Yeah. Let's take a step back, though. We can handle that much better now. We can get through it. Before, with the drinking aspect of it, there was certainly the the reward factor of even going in, like,
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
let's go into this fucking place.
Because afterwards,
We'll get our shit. But the whole time you're thinking, you're getting a little dopamine drip of, it's okay, just get through this, because you're gonna be
expectation,
You're gonna
yeah.
be eating a burger and just pounding fucking gigantic beers for the next hour, and then drive home drunk. So that's cool. That is not cool.
I'm surprised we never hit anybody or, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we're talking about highly sensitive people. 20% of our population is a highly sensitive person. I think you have 1 to 2 people in each family, like 2 to 3 generations. You have 1 to 2 people that are going to be highly sensitive people.
Yeah. Sorry, I was gently chuckling at Michelle's statement. It said tear up, not tear you up. I know what you meant, Michelle. Thank you. Okay, all right. Well, let's get into it, and then as usual, this will breed some discussion nuggets. So let's go.
Are you often told that you're too sensitive? Maybe told to stop thinking about things so much? Or you need a lot of time to recharge after a hectic day? If so, you could be what is known as a highly sensitive person, or HSP. And today I'm going to explain what a highly sensitive...
And I'm sorry, this is from a doctor that I subscribe to. I don't know what her credentials are, but she is a licensed medical professional in the U.S. Her name is Katie Morton. So,
person is, share 10 signs that you are an HSP, and offer some tips on how we can manage our vulnerability to being overwhelmed. If you find this type of content helpful and educational, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. It really does help. The term highly sensitive person was coined by psychologist and author Elaine Aron. Now, it is not a diagnosable mental illness, but it's often linked to sensory processing disorders. And according to Aron's theory, HSPs have a stronger response to internal and external stimuli when compared to people who are not HSPs. And this affects roughly 15 to 20% of the population. Being highly sensitive has its benefits, as we are more empathic, understanding, and aware. But as I'm sure you can realize, it can also have a negative impact, making us feel overwhelmed easily, exhausted, and often needing time alone to recharge. I would also argue that being highly sensitive is a bit trickier now with social media and the ability to be overstimulated at our fingertips. We can easily tap into the pain going on in the world and be shown tons of images, videos, and music anytime we open an app. We can even share something lovely about our life or an issue that we're having, and people online can bully us, judge us for how we look, claim that we don't have a right to be struggling because other things are going on in the world. It can be hard to stay regulated these days, which is why we all need access to affordable healthcare and mental health care. And if you're in the States and you haven't enrolled in an affordable healthcare plan, you can go to healthcare.gov and enroll now. If you find yourself in a crisis or are needing extra support, you can also call the crisis response line at 988. And this video comes to you as part of the Better Internet Initiative supported by the Fellow Americans Education Fund. Let's move into the 10 signs you are a highly sensitive person. Sign number 1, you feel at your best when you're alone and in your own space.
yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to, or mom, they used to give me a domino set and a backgammon board. And I'd be in my room and they could leave me for hours and I'd be completely fine.
Yep.
No problem. Don't need anybody else. I'm fine with myself.
So you and I were talking about that this morning, and,
Yeah.
and then I kind of aggressively went, nothing's changed. You're exactly like that now. Judy's perfectly happy with going off in another room and doing a puzzle, listening to a book.
For hours.
Reading a book.
Just leave me alone. I'm good.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Good morning, Nick. Nick and I have been having, I think, a couple back and forths on our short comments. So welcome to the show, my friend. Yeah. So this is wanting to be alone. That's how I recharge. When I was in leadership, people, man, I'd go to work. I always did a really good job, but it's fucking mind-bogglingly exhausting. So people have had a misconception of me for decades. When I tell them I'm very introverted, they're like, "No way, man! You're so extroverted, John. You're always out." I'm like, "That."
But highly sensitive people can be extroverted.
Yeah.
Only for short amounts of time.
Yeah, but if you're in a job to where you have to do that all day to be at your best, then and another, that's another formula of how I developed behaviors over the years, decades of drinking heavily too. Was every majority of drinkers, they get off work, they have drinks. For me, it was a mind-boggling fucking mental health necessity that I would drink.
Yeah, for me it was smoking pot, because that would dull down the highly sensitive aspects of my life.
Yeah. Yep. So that is a thing. When you and I first got together, I would catch you would catch me in a room. Sorry, those people are like,
He wasn't doing anything
John,
weird.
what were you doing?
I swear.
No, I'd be building computers, and this is when we first started dating. And this feels going to sound like I'm attacking you. I'm not, but you'd always be like, "What are you doing in here?" And I'd always try to explain, like, I don't know why I'm
just building a computer. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have the emotional awareness 20 years ago to be able to tell you, "Hey, I need alone time."
Well, neither
By
did
the
I,
way,
'cause I was
Judy,
clingy.
because you're a bit much. Yeah.
I was clingy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we were both still trying to figure out shit and in our own disease.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the world can be so overwhelming and we can easily become overstimulated, we can feel most comfortable when we get to be alone in our home, doing the things we want to do. Now, this doesn't mean that we need it to be silent and we're going to sit in the dark, but it does mean that we're able to figure out the right mix of things going on around us. We all thrive when we aren't too over or understimulated. And being alone means that we get to set everything up in a way that's pleasing to us. And we may find ourselves needing this time in between stimulating events. The amount of alone time we need, it'll vary depending on our personal needs and how dysregulated we feel at the time. And I do want to throw out a warning here that isolating all of the time isn't good for any of us. Even if we are HSPs, that doesn't mean we don't make the time to see people or build relationships and connect. We may just not need to do it as often as others. We all need connection with other people. And I don't want this sign to be an excuse that we all use to explain away our depressive symptoms. So keep an eye on this sign if you feel it applies to you all the time. Sign number 2, we avoid scary or hurtful content online. Since we are so empathic, watching a movie where someone might be hurt or seeing someone be pranked online can feel overwhelming to us. We can feel so deeply for that person that we don't want to watch anything bad happen to them.
This is not me so much, but Judy.
Oh my gosh.
Forever, it took me a long time to understand you with this as well. Judy's got what's called empathetic embarrassment real bad. Like if someone's doing something cringeworthy on a show or whatever, she just cannot. She'll just fucking get up and walk away. Yesterday during that shitty movie that we were watching, Judy's just like, I got it.
I can't. Oh, it was hard. It was hard. It was so embarrassing, and they jumped the shark on this movie so bad that I almost had to get up and walk away. But that happens with scary movies, with bloody, gory movies. Ooh, can't watch them. They just, I cannot sit there and I physically start to feel the knife going into my chest multiple times. It's like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Me, not so much. I enjoy that stuff, but
no, you just sit there and giggle through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Even if it's just part of a movie and it's not even happening in real life, it's almost like our sensitivity makes it difficult for us to disconnect our concern from the reality of the situation. Instead of having to deal with that discomfort, we can just find ourselves avoiding it altogether. This sign is one that I personally feel in my bones. Sean loves scary movies, and I can't even watch a suspenseful portion of a drama. I get too worried about the other person, and it just stresses me out, so I usually leave the room or close my eyes for a bit. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it makes me feel more comfortable. Sign number 3, we struggle with overthinking. Because we are so aware of everything going on around us, making decisions and processing our days can take a lot of time. We also think about things on a deeper level, maybe getting caught up in all the ways it could affect others or be interpreted. Due to our intense focus on details, we can find ourselves laying awake at night, running through all of the things that we said, emotional responses we experienced, and what we think others felt. It can feel like there's not enough time in the day.
Yep. That's the big one for me.
So so when I was a kid, even growing up, young adult, I would constantly be thinking about what everybody else is thinking about me.
Yeah.
What everybody else is. Did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? I think I stepped out of it. If I just had done this a little bit better, or said this a little bit better, or moved a little bit better, or if I just did this a little bit different, or I wonder, did I say that wrong? I know I saw in her face that she just slightly made a different kind of facial expression, and I'd hyper focus on that, and then I can completely relate to this. It's hard to quiet the cacophony of opinions and thoughts and everything that goes on in your head, especially being a highly sensitive person, because you're not only thinking those things, you're feeling them, you're manifesting them in your body as well. And it could be so overwhelming.
So what you said there is important to note, is that you're making this shit up.
Yes, it's a whole dialogue. And the people that I'm
person
thinking
probably
about
never even looked at you. They're probably just looking in the corner.
I was either in or out of their field of vision for seconds, and I did not make an impression on them. They could care less. They've got their own crap that they're dealing with. They can care less what I did.
Yeah. And so with that's what, there was a comment that my therapist made at the beginning when I told her about that. And she said, and people don't like hearing this, but she said it in the best possible way. She said, John, believe it or not, no one really gives a shit about you. And I was like, oh.
It's almost relieving. You're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, she meant it not like family wise, but in like the public. She's like, what? No one cares.
Yeah.
And I was like, it gave me a sense of relief. But
it kind of gets you a little bit out of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. That statement resonated with me, and then of course getting sober and trying to work through all this, doing the letting go portion of this has really made me feel a lot better about all of that too.
Yeah, like I said earlier, though, it's almost a minute by minute, because if I'm in a social environment, the hypersensitive kicks in, and I have to constantly tell myself, these people don't care. They can care less what you wear. They can care less what you do. They can care less what you say. Yeah. As long as you're kind and a decent human being, they don't care. Yeah. You also have I think a deep-seated glass frog syndrome. Everyone can see right through you. Yes. And imposter syndrome. Yeah. Yep. One of these days they're going to figure out that I'm completely faking the whole thing. But you're not. You're the best. Thank you.
To think it all through. And even though we want to sleep, we can't shut our brain off. We can even find ourselves jumping around in time, worrying about tomorrow, but also, trying to work through some past stuff at the same time, feeling compelled to run through all that happened today. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting at times. Sign number 4, we become annoyed and overwhelmed when people try to get us to do too many things at once. Because we process things on a deeper level and often notice minute details that others don't, it can be hard for us to do multiple things at once. Not to mention the fact that we worry about how everything we do affects other people, so we may be a bit perfectionistic in the things that we do. And if we don't feel like we get to focus on the task at hand and only that task, then we can worry that that is going to make the result not as good, and we're going to let other people down. Overall, when we feel pulled in multiple directions, it can cause us to get dysregulated, feel out of control, and we can find ourselves irritable and in our fight-flight response. Sign number 5, we prefer dim lighting. Because HSPs are often connected to sensory processing disorders, being in a loud and bright environment is going to feel immediately overwhelming. Even overhead lighting can just feel like too intense or uncomfortable. And I read some comments from HSPs who said that overhead lighting feels blinding and that they wear special glasses at work to manage this, or take breaks where they sit with their eyes closed for a bit. I mean, even a few of my friends hate bright lights and especially overhead lighting, and they will come into your home and turn on your lamps and turn off the overhead lights. And I have to be honest, I love that they feel comfortable enough to do that because I want them to feel good. And lower lighting, it doesn't.
All right, I don't know how I'd handle that one.
The only
If Marcus walked in our house and started turning the lights and shit off, I'd be like, Marcus, what the fuck are you doing, man? Sit down.
No, I think the only bright light that I like is the sun.
Yeah.
Everything else I like dim. I like candlelight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that we've set our house up to that kind of lighting.
Yeah.
All of our automated lighting, all that.
It's all indirect light. It's not anything
Yeah, there's nothing that's crashing down.
except for right now.
Yeah, I know. This is studio lighting is a different animal. We have to do that.
That's why I'm kind of glad this is only an hour because
Here it is without.
This I enjoy.
But see, it's very comfortable. I shouldn't have done that. I panic like, fuck, what if they don't come back on? But yeah, real quick, we'll jump back in. Joe says, and this is important too, because I think we struggle with not recognizing when we are overthinking as well. Mm-hmm. Classic cognitive distortion. You know, now that I think about that, I'm going to put that in my tool set as well, because I got to do better with, hold on. See, now I think I know the majority of the time when I am overthinking, because it's pushing me into dysregulation. I know it feels like I've had caffeine when I'm like starting to overthink shit, and they're all out there. I have to work pretty damn hard to pull myself back and say, hey man, you're way overdoing this. It's probably binary. There's probably a black and white situation. Just fucking calm down. And I know that. So I think more, I may need to give myself the grace. Thank you, Joe. You've helped. And oh shit, Sanja from Croatia. Man, our international community. We got Serbia, Netherlands, UK. Now we got someone from Croatia. This is amazing.
Nice. Welcome.
Welcome to the channel. But anyway, to Joe's point, I'm gonna work on that next week. Believe me, I have opportunities every day to work on shit every hour. So
to work on the overabundance of stimuli that's going on in your head.
Does that make sense though?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, I overthink. I know I do, but then I'm like, well, do you recognize when you're overthinking? I got to think about that.
I know when I'm overthinking.
What do you do?
I turn on my inner adult and say, okay, take a breath, shrink your focus on right now. This moment right now. Is there anything right now that's bugging you? Is there anything right now that is an issue? Is there anything right now that's going to explode? 9 times out of 10, no.
Yeah.
So I just bring it to the present.
Sorry. Lisa got me good. She's like, wait, I need a minute to take a minute to overthink the overthinking. Yeah. Lisa, you know what I mean.
Need to analyze your analysis.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
Doesn't bother me at all. Sign number 6, we have an intense fear of rejection. Now this ties directly into the fact that we feel everything intensely. If someone doesn't like us or we don't get top marks, we can feel like a complete failure. And the intensity of that feeling is so overwhelming to our system that we often feel like we just can't take it. This can cause us to opt out of tough projects, struggle with any kind of feedback, and it can make dating difficult too. We often don't realize how many parts of our life are affected by a fear of rejection, but just consider for a moment how many things that you do every day that could end with someone not liking it or not liking you. There's a lot, right? I can think of a ton. Sign number 7, we are really sensitive to caffeine.
Yep.
I honestly hadn't thought of how caffeine could affect HSPs, but this sign is even in the HSP test that Elaine Aron created.
So this is the one that took us for fucking ever to figure out. Well, you knew it, but when I was on my antidepressant, anti-anxiety, and fucking mood stabilizers and all that shit, plus drinking, we make very strong coffee. Judy and I drink decaf, very good decaf, by the way.
Very good decaf.
But I didn't put 2 and 2 together that I would slip into panic attacks. I think that's what kicked off my main one was caffeine. As I've gotten older and gotten sober, that caffeine sensitivity really ramped up. So I'm going to put this out there. So my psychiatrist never asked about caffeine. My therapist never asked about caffeine. My primary care, who's a really good doctor, never asked about caffeine. This should be the first fucking question on the list.
Yeah.
What's your caffeine consumption?
Yeah.
And holy shit, that's a really good starting point because after I went through the withdrawals for a couple days, the headaches. Hey. Shocking. Much
Calmed her
calmer.
down. Imagine that.
So I know that might sound way too easy if you're out there struggling with it, but yeah, if you're
made a big difference. Huge difference.
Yeah, if you're anxious, and my anxiety will always, okay, not always, majority of the time, my anxiety will morph into depression. It'll ramp, and then it'll turn, and it's just why am I? All right, well, I'm gonna spare you all. We'll keep depression John out of this. I haven't been there in a long time, so I don't even like to think about it. Yeah. So
yeah, caffeine. I can handle like 8 ounces of tea that has caffeine, like green tea or black tea. I can handle that because it's not as much caffeine as a cup of coffee. But that's it. That's my tolerance. If I go any more caffeine than that, forget it.
And the caffeine in green tea metabolizes different too.
Yes.
It's interesting because
it's kind of like a sustained release. It's not a dump of caffeine and then none.
Yeah, and if you want to get into the nootropics discussion of it, the green tea has L-theanine in it, which balances you out. So Red Bull has a shit ton of caffeine, sugar, and taurine in it.
Yes.
Taurine is put into those drinks to keep you from getting ultra jittery. So I remember when I drink a ton of Red Bull, it's like, why is my anxiety ramping up, but I'm not shaking, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, just if you're having those issues and you consume
check your caffeine,
even just 1 cup a day, you may have a caffeine sensitivity. It's a thing. So good luck.
It is on this list because caffeine is a stimulant to our nervous system. And if we're already extra stimulated, it could push us into a dysregulated space easily. When those of us who aren't HSPs are looking to feel more alert, awake, and able to focus, our HSP friends are looking to turn that all down a little bit. So if you know that you already feel on edge, often overwhelmed, or are having a hard time relaxing, caffeine may not be the best thing to put into your body. And trust me, I know it's part of our culture in many ways. I grew up in Washington State and we love our coffee there, but I also know that sometimes too much coffee can make me feel jittery and even mimic the symptoms of anxiety. Sign number 8, we cry easily. This sign probably doesn't come as a shock, but it's important to talk about because too often we're embarrassed of this sign or have been shamed by others for it. So we can find ourselves stuffing our feelings down and not letting ourselves cry even when we feel the need to. Now, I know personally noticing if I feel more emotional than normal is a sign that I'm not doing well and I need to get back into therapy. So whether or not you think you're an HSP, this sign is something that we should all take note of. Notice if you feel like crying when you're watching TV, hearing about something going on in the world, or always feel like you could cry at the drop of a hat. What this means is that our nervous system is already dysregulated. And if we can notice this sooner rather than later, then we can do something about it. Like going home and taking a break from all of the people, lights, and noise. Since no one enjoys crying in public around people we maybe don't know that well, it's best if we start to pay attention to this sensation so that we can do something about it.
Sorry, I got to pause there for a sec. I can cry at a Hallmark commercial. That's how sensitive I can get sometimes. And watching TikTok or YouTube videos regarding dogs or any kind of pet or animal, even if it's a funny video, I'm tearing up.
Yeah. I was about to say, you don't watch TikTok.
No, I don't watch TikTok.
We don't-
YouTube, sorry, not
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing that caused me to drink and smoke pot is because I was so hypersensitive, and I would just cry at the drop of a hat. That was the only way to stop that emotion from coming up, from dealing with it, was to get high, because then I could just numb it and dumb it all down and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. Crying. This is an interesting thing that she's talking about, though, because for me, like I just said at the beginning of the show, during 3 miles into my 5-mile run yesterday, I was listening to that song, and it was time. I just started crying, and it felt good. So
Hold on.
There's been times where I needed to cry, especially when I was on way too much medication, and I couldn't, and it's painful because you want to be able to crack open that well.
Yeah.
That's it.
Puka, go lie down.
Don't step on any wires
Go lie
over
down.
here. So anyway, let's get back into it. We're getting super disrupted here.
Sign number 9. We often feel misunderstood.
Yeah.
This is a big one, and the reason that most of us HSPs can feel lonely a lot of the time. When we've been told since we were children that we were too much, too sensitive, or being drama queens, it can feel like we aren't lovable as we are. Or that if we do share how we really feel, it won't be heard or understood. And since HSPs make up 15 to 20% of the population, that means that the vast majority of people don't understand what it's like to feel overwhelmed constantly and need downtime to recharge, which is part of the reason why I wanted to create this video, so that we can understand this more and help the HSPs in our life feel more seen and understood. Sign number 10, we feel out of place a lot. This last sign is a doozy and can happen because before we knew that we were highly sensitive, we probably believed that we were just weird or the oddball, never feeling like we fit in anywhere. Our society praises those who can work long hours, do things quickly, and juggle a lot of tasks at once. And when we're highly sensitive, doing that feels completely dysregulating. Therefore, our experience in life can feel very different from others and lead us to feeling out of place all the time. We all know how valuable it is to know that we aren't alone with our struggles. And when we're an HSP, it can feel like we are. If you're anything like me and feel that some of these signs are true for you or you feel them in your bones, then here are some ways that we can better manage them. First up, we have to get to know our biggest triggers. Are we most dysregulated in crowds? Is it when we see someone else being hurt that we get upset? Maybe when we haven't slept well? Start to pay attention to the things that are the most upsetting so that you can decide when to engage with those things, if you engage with them at all. Next, we want to pay attention to the way that we talk to ourselves about our sensitivity. We aren't weak, crybabies, too much, or even shy. Those are probably old stories from our childhood that we keep telling ourselves, almost like someone else started the abuse, but now we're choosing to continue it. So pay attention to the conversation that you have with yourself, and you can use bridge statements to challenge those thoughts. Remember, bridge statements aren't positive, they're just less negative than the original thought. For example, if my automatic thought was, I'm too sensitive and that makes me weak, And the bridge statement could be something like, I am sensitive, but I also hear that being this way isn't always a weakness. I think mine is, but maybe not for everybody. See? Not positive, but not as negative. And you keep building the bridge little by little to be less and less negative. Since we're talking about these old stories from our childhood, it could also be beneficial to do some inner child work. Elaine Aron even mentions this in her book, like throughout, how we shouldn't ignore our child selves. And instead, it's important to let them know that we love them just as they are. If you have a tough time with this or need more guidance on how to get started, I have an inner child workshop available on my website right now. So you can just head over to katiemorton.com and access it today. And finally, reframing. This is a tool often used in therapy, and it really just challenges us to see something from a new perspective and with more context. This means that when we want to think or say, I'm just too sensitive, maybe after watching this video, we can reframe that and say, I am a highly sensitive person, and that comes with benefits and costs. Now, I know that this can seem similar to bridge statements, but we can reframe things that aren't actually negative. We use this tool when we notice that our way of thinking or acting isn't getting us where we want to go. Maybe we need to consider it from another perspective or give more context to it. I hope this was helpful. Being sensitive can be such an asset if we can just figure out how to manage it. If you're looking to work on yourself, please check out my website, katiemorton.com, and take a look at all of my workshops on there. They are.
Yeah. So there's a couple questions. Michelle had a question that says, how do you help people that have HSP? And I think understanding that person has HSP is like the first step.
Yeah. Okay. Let's back up. I don't think as a person that is highly sensitive, I'm starting to realize that I don't need help. This is just the way I am. I've got to learn how to better regulate a lot of that stuff.
How would you respond with another person that's an HSP and you're in the same room and they're having an issue? How would you help them? Would you leave them alone? 2, would you try and understimulate them? How would you help them?
Well, if an HSP came over here and they wanted to be alone, I'd be like, why the fuck you come over here then, homie?
All right, smart ass.
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not going to make it up. It's something that I need to probably do a better job of recognizing, because I'm too out in the world and in my professional life. It's all about me. Me. I'm the victim. I'm the one with issues. No one's treating me fairly. I'm not doing a good job of recognizing those other people that have issues. And my new role,
that's another thing, is how do you recognize somebody who's an HSP?
You might not be able to tell, because a lot of us mask it very well, because we're doing all of that extra version of ourselves.
Yes.
And then I've gotten that for years. People are like, John, I could never tell. But the statements I do get are, John, chill out, bro. Don't take it so seriously. Relax. And I'm like,
You don't understand.
Everything in this room is overstimulating me, and I can't just let it go.
I also think a lot of people who are highly sensitive people don't realize that they're highly sensitive people.
Yeah.
They keep going on with their daily life, trying to deal with these issues and signs of being a highly sensitive person, and not realizing that they are a highly sensitive person, and not knowing the steps to take to deal with their own personal idiosyncrasies.
Yeah. I'm going to jump into, Michelle says, how do you talk with someone that is HSP? I think we just talk to everyone like they're normal, I think you start to figure out if a person is highly sensitive. But I don't know. That's a good question too. People don't think I'm highly sensitive at all until I start to just vomit my emotion. Or you know what? People don't realize I'm highly sensitive until it's too late.
Yeah.
And then I explode. I have an anxiety attack, and they're like, shit, what did I do? I'm like, because you're fucking existing in my realm, and I don't want you here.
I'm overstimulated, and you just happen to be in the vicinity.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Sonia, I hope we're pronouncing that right, or is it Sanja? She said she's a teacher working with high school children. It's hard because other teachers do not understand them. Yes.
Yes. There's a lot of children, especially Patrick Tehan. We were watching a video earlier, and he was talking about children who are highly sensitive and also go through a lot of trauma when they're children, because they can absorb that trauma obviously more than what everybody else in the family is, how everybody else in the family is absorbing that trauma.
Yeah.
They take on the emotional burden of everything that's happening in the family because nobody else seems to be taking on that emotional burden.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some ways that we can start to help us. I'll give some examples and let's talk through it, because I don't think there's help for me. Here, I'll give you an example. Okay.
I think you're helping yourself.
Well, yeah, I am. I got to give myself credit and grace. But the last time we went to the movie theater, that was it. I vowed I would never go, and we've never been back. I can't. And now it's a fucking war zone for me in there.
Yeah, because we're highly sensitive, so we get overstimulated with everything that's going on around us. The little crackle of a bag of popcorn, the somebody taking a drink out of their Coke, and the straw going up and down in the lid, somebody on their phone, that so many other sensory things are going on that we can't concentrate on the movie we came to see, even though it's loud as hell.
Yeah. But we tune in, we focus our ears. Now I'm listening to the person that's typing on their phone and eating their candy very loud. This has been my struggle for all of my life. I wish I could just not do that. I really do. I wish I could immerse myself more in the moment. Here's a good example that happened the other day, and I was
Well, you are immersed in the moment. You're immersed in the moment with everything around you.
With everything around. I went to the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting on Thursday, and Michelle, you could probably relate to this. During the Serenity Prayer, there's three people next to me in a row looking down at their phones and typing shit. And I'm like, we're in the middle of the Serenity Prayer. And so, see, I'm getting upset about it right now. Because I'm sensitive to that. And so I don't know what the solution is for me in the short and long term. Those distractions.
Well, you've been able to let go of a lot of that too.
I know. I worked really hard on trying to let that shit go. I
think one of those steps is to learn to let go, learn to realize that not everything that is around you is your responsibility.
I know.
I'm not saying that you as a person, I'm not pointing a finger at you. I'm making it in general to hypersensitive people. We have to realize that not everything around us is our responsibility. That person who's having a bad day and their emotions are going haywire, that is not our responsibility to take on their emotions.
Yes, you're 100% right.
It's not easy, but
it is not.
But it's something that I've learned only recently, that I'm not responsible for everybody else's emotions.
Yes, but
it's not easy.
It is not, because my issue is, so my sensitivity towards what's going on is also coupled with the fact that I cannot stand people that are rude.
Free range rudeness
In public. I cannot.
Yeah.
The decorum of some of these sacred behaviors that we have are lost, and it's driving me fucking nuts. I just wanted to stop and go, in what world do you three people think it's fucking okay to be typing on your phones while we're doing a Serenity Prayer? Huh? Huh? What the fuck is wrong with you? So all of that went on through my head in a matter of a second. And now I'm like, I can't. Then it turns into a, okay, John, you're working on letting things go. Just let this one slide. While I'm staring at him like, I'm gonna break your fucking fingers. Let go. Breathe. And I'm like, and I just had to had to take myself out of it just took me out of all of the moment. So I don't know what the blockade could be for that. I'll continue to work on it because, again, I guaranteed I'll be presented with many tests and opportunities for this stuff. But that's a good example right there of the highly sensitive. And I'm looking around like, how come 27 other people don't give a shit about these people texting right now?
I'm sure that some of them do. They're just not focusing on it, not looking at them. I'm sure they do.
Okay, so that's all. They're not focusing on it. They're not looking at them.
Yeah. There's a lot of times that I notice stuff out of the corner of my eye. I just don't look at it. But there's also the...
Okay. I got some backup in here. So Michelle agrees, very irritating. Joe agrees, can't stand it either. Yep. All right. Good. So that makes me feel better.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
See, you're not the only one.
I'm winning this.
Yeah. It's hard. It's not easy. But you know what? It's there's little things that we do during our day that will give us peace, that do give us peace. Those times when we're alone, those times you go work in your shop, those times that I put on an audiobook and go work on a puzzle, those little things that we do to help get us in a better frame of mind so that we can go out into social environments and absorb all that stuff and not have it excessively overstimulate us.
Yeah, now that we're talking about it and thinking about it, I got a lot of work to do on everything. I think I got to put this onto the workbench of the meatball of pain that is my brain. Because it's broader. It's broader than what I just discussed, and that is I'm still not allowing myself to be in the moment. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I know I'm not, and you and I could go out to a restaurant, and I could be making eye contact with you and really trying to enjoy your company and a good meal, but I'm not there.
1,000 things around you.
I'm all around everything else. And you know what? This is also, I think, a hypervigilance thing from child abuse and military PTSD that I'm working on too. You know, it's the weird shit of when I go in.
Don't forget to throw in a little ADHD in there.
Oh yeah.
Because that was mine, being hypersensitive and being ADD. That combo was just a joy to work with when I was a kid.
Yeah. Okay. We are a little bit past time, so
thank you all for joining us. Thanks everybody for the chat. This has been fantastic.
Oh, I got to read Sonia's comment. Gentleness is all we need. We can enjoy it in our natural movies by the sea or in the mountains. I really, really, really have a problem with rudeness, so I'm working on it. That's my huge problem. Dang, Sonia, thank you for sharing. So you're the rude person in my universe. I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah, and Joe, you need to work on being in the moment. I'm with you.
It's hard. Being in the moment is probably one of the hardest things to do. Shutting off that ego, shutting off that inner dialogue that focuses on the past and focuses on the future and doesn't allow you to be present in the moment. It's hard, but when you can do it with practice and with diligence, it makes it so much easier because it takes all that worry off.
Yeah, I've gotten better. I've really worked with it myself, and the other morning I was standing out there drinking a cup of coffee on the back deck, enjoying.
It was lovely.
Yeah, just enjoying it. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. Next week we are going to be talking about how the body holds on to trauma. Yes, Lisa, we are going to watch a quick 10-minute segment from the author of How the Body Keeps the Score.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about how our bodies hold on to trauma from the past and how we can possibly mitigate that. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks for all of the new folks from all over the world. It's been amazing having you on here. Thank you. Please join us again next week if you can make it. And with that, be kind to yourselves.
Be patient with yourself.
You are loved, God damn it. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.